We are live, we are live, we are live here on IG and YouTube. Thank you very much for joining me on Talk Live. We are back, we are live and fully functioning. Again, had a few issues, but again, 803, not bad at all, I think we are on course tonight. Yes, indeed, we are back live here on Talk Live. Thank you very much for joining me on Talk Live. Had a very good weekend, to be fair and frank. Let me just get myself a water here just quickly. Hold on just 1 second, and we will get into this. And I thank you very much for joining me tonight on Talk Live. Oh, that's a coldie oldie. That's a good one here. Yes, indeed, back and live here on Talk Live. We are here to discuss a very saucy subject indeed, something that would trigger the gynocracy, the modern women out there that I met this weekend. Thank you very much for shouting me out and giving me kudos and pushing me forward as we move towards the fall season here at Talk Live. Yes, indeed. Back and sponsored by Duntalk, DUNTALK.com. As you can see, fall winter line out now, people. Very nice indeed. I gotta say, I'm gonna be sporting this as we go forward into the fall winter season. But it's out now, very available and very, very fetching looking, to be fair and frank. And yeah, indeed. Thank you very much for joining. Let me roll my sleeves up here just that little bit. Yes, had a very good weekend, to be fair. Date one night. Where is it now? I was at another birthday party the second night, and on the third night, I was at Junior Jones' late summer party. Shout out to Junior Jones. Junior Jones doing wonderful things in these YouTube streets, to be fair and frank. And that was a lovely fall soiree on the lake. Yes, indeed. Just down by Cabana. That was really cool. Again, everybody in their finery, looking divinery as per usual, and Maya was out and performing well, and to be fair. And again, she's part of the subject that we have here tonight. Yes, Maya, 43, 44 years old, and we're talking about, can women date over 40? Yeah, we're into the meaty stuff, people. We're into the meaty stuff as the fall winter season has approaches us, and there is a show, a YouTube show in particular, a YouTube post in particular that I was referring to for this show, to be fair, and it really did sinew the senses, as they say, and got my mind thinking and working and moving forward. And to be fair, it really got me thinking about women in their 40s doing things, because again, women are out of their prime in terms of their dating life at this time. In that, there are three pillars to womanhood. To be fair, to modern womanhood, period, in my estimation. And aside from the fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative, submissive paradigm that the Godfather Kevin Samuels so eloquently put to us in his day. Shout out to the Godfather, may he rest in peace. But there's a new paradigm. Well, it's not really a new paradigm. It is a paradigm old as time, to be fair. And there are these three things. Women who are in their sexual peak and prime, who have the highest sexual value, are in, which is basically 18 to the 20, I would say 24 to 26-year-old range, have three things going for them. Number one, they have their youth. Number two, they have their beauty. Number three, they have their fertility. It is easier for them to make babies. It is easier for them to get dates and procure the attention of men, and also they are still at the height of their powers in terms of their youth. So those are the three. And my nephews are dealing with that right now. We're dealing in that they are both Zennials, and the Zennials have the floor at the moment in terms of sexual prime, sexual peak. Let me just have this for a second, because I am shiny. I am very, very shiny over here. So I'm just wiping myself down as we go along, because it is a bit of a hotter day down here, to be fair. All of the lights, is my friend Kanye West would say. And so with that 18 to 20, I'll even stretch it to 28. Let's go there. We'll even stretch it to 28. You have 10 years in which a woman is at her sexual peak prime dating life. And that is the late teens, when she just leaves high school, and as she embarks on her 30s, around 28. Those are her peak days. After that, you have time. Women reach a certain period in which, their eggs are going. Their eggs are pretty much dropping at the moment, especially when they hit 29, 30. I think 90% of a woman's fertility in terms of her eggs are gone by this time. So she's slowly ebbing out of her peak, and as she hits 30 to 35 to 40 years old, to a point where at 40 you pretty much can only have a child if by natural birth. If not, you're going to need help, either through a surrogate or through in vitro fertilization, IVF, as they say, and you can only have a kid at best. So if you're going to build a legacy for a man, it is during the late teens to late 20s that is that peak time where women run the dating world. Quite simply, they're able to call shots, and they're able to call shots, be shot callers, and big ballers at the time. But women usually end out of this space, and that's when men start taking over. And men start holding a sway and hegemony in terms of the dating world, because that's when men start hitting their their prime sexual peak, because of their earnings, because of their fitness, because of them having to accumulate their wealth over time. As they say, women are trust fund babies, and men are self-made millionaires, in that they have to earn their way into the sexual marketplace. Women just be. And they're there, especially for the first 10 years. So they have to maximize that time. So at 40, that time is maximized. That time is past. And women will find it even tougher out there to hold sway in the dating world. Quite simply, they don't hold sway. They don't. Because they're younger, more fertile, and more beautiful ladies out there, to be fair. Now, again, especially when they're in their youth, because, as they say, a man who has all the means would rather have a lady within the 18 to 24 range, because she's at their sexual peak, and also that she can build a legacy for a gentleman through a family. She can have children at that without much complications, unless she has some sort of debilitating medical illness that would rule her out of said category and consider her barren. But we at 40, ladies at 40. Well, let's go to it. Let's get to the browser here, and we're gonna and I'm gonna use the Discernible Truth here, a YouTube site that's doing wonderful things in these YouTube streaks. Thank you very much for joining me on Talk Live. We're gonna get into it. You're starting to see more stuff like this. Let me get into it here. Yes, indeed. So we have this Discernible Truth. Let me go back up. There we go.
When it comes to dating and relationships, who is typically seen as...
There we go.
What would you say the hardest thing about going through a divorce at 44 is?
Trying to figure out how I'm going to start my life again. It's hard. Yeah.
Was the relationship like 10 years plus, or?
She said it herself. She's 44. She's back out dating. She's divorced. It's tough out there. She's bringing... to be fair, ladies, you're bringing gray hairs to the party, and nobody is looking for it, especially men of a certain age, especially men of her age. They're looking for some younger models, and for you to look like a grandmother, it is cutthroat. It is cutthroat in these streets, especially these dating streets. And for you to look pretty much like a grandmother going out and trying to rebuild your dating life, it is, as she said, tough. It's damn near difficult to try to usurp those of younger, more fertile, dare I say, more beautiful means. So that is what women are confronted with at this time, and I'll let her continue.
Yes.
What's your outlook on going back into the world single?
It's dire. It doesn't look good, to be honest.
Are you looking for something serious again off the bat? Do you? Okay.
No.
Why not?
Absolutely not. No. There's no way I want to get into another long-term relationship. It's
Women don't want to get into a long-term relationship. She's just been divorced. She just got out of, she's just out of a committed relationship, maybe 1 to 5 to 10 years, and she's looking to reestablish herself. And she even says it herself. She is ill-equipped, really ill-equipped to handle herself in this dating market, where her 40-year-old male counterpart now is, because he's hit his financial stride. He's hit, hopefully, his physique peak, and he is now a shot caller. For years, especially during those 18 to 28 years, he was shunned. He was literally shunned. He was put out to pasture, for quite simply, and he was asked to come back a better person. Well, that better person's come back, and he said, you know what? I don't want to deal with my alike anymore. I don't want to deal with a woman my age anymore, because quite simply, she can't have babies on her own anymore. She needs help. And I want to build my legacy with someone who can have babies. So therefore, you have to go a generation down. As the Muslims say, men would rather take a woman that's half their age and add 7. So if you're 44, your half your age is 22, add 7. A woman who's 28, 29, that's where he wants to be in terms of a lady. He's looking for a generation down, as they say. So she would be I think she'd be a late Gen Xer. Yeah, I believe she'd be a late Gen Xer. She would not be at the sexual peak at the moment. She's lost her youth and she's lost her fertility at the moment. She does, she's a rather, interesting looking girl, to be fair. I'm sure there's a man who would take her on, but quite simply, it's a niche area that she has to fit into in order to find that man. To be fair. I've been in those streets, and I've seen, case in point, the Junior Jones party just the other day. It takes a special type of woman to attract the attention of men. And this girl right here, as lovely as she looks, as lovely as she may be, isn't it? Just isn't it? When you're divorced at 44 and you're not looking for a long-term relationship, and I'm sure she doesn't want to have babies at the moment, she pretty much chips in at this point. And she's literally at the bottom of the totem pole in the dating market at 44. I mean, the gray hair, to be fair, isn't such a good look. But so again, I'll let her continue. I'll let her finish.
definitely trying to find and reconnect who the hell I am.
Right.
Yeah.
So the men that you're kind of like, you envision in your future, are they older than you? Are they younger than you? Same age?
I haven't even gotten to that point. Like, I have no idea.
Do you feel like you're competing with younger women?
Sometimes. Not that I feel like I am competing, but I definitely feel like it's hard for people my age. Or
yes, you are competing with women who are younger than you, and quite simply, you are not winning that fight. As I said, ladies, as Kevin said, and as many people have said over time, you have got to take advantage of your time at the top of the mountain, at those youth years, and I'm sure she has. I'm sure she had. She did take advantage of it. I'm sure she found marriage at that time. I'm not too sure about it, but now she's divorced at 44 and looking to get back out there and not die alone. She's at the not die alone stage. She's in no man's land, as Kevin would say, and she's gonna have a rather difficult time because she can't sell her fertility and she can't sell youth anymore. All she can sell is potential beauty. She's got to find someone who would want to take her in to be a partner with her for life. And chances are they're older. chances are they're up in the 50s to 60-year-old men who quite simply have said, you know what, I'd rather have a slower life now. I've reached my age of majority. Well, I'm well past that. I am pretty much out of the job market right now. I'm pretty much near retirement, if not retired, and I'm looking for a lady that it can slow down with me, and that's who she is right now. That's where she goes right now. I'm just letting you know, ladies. At 44 years old, this is not the time to say that you can compete with a woman half your age. It's not happening. I'd rather be blunt with you. I'd rather tell you the truth than give you a pretty lie. That, my dear, is not the right. Is definitely not the time to claim that you are as beautiful, if not more beautiful than your than the women half your age, if not 10 years younger than yourself.
Older to be single.
What would you say?
So leave it there for now. Thank you for the desirable truth. I mispronounced it before, but again, they're doing wonderful things in YouTube streets. So we're gonna go to another video right here, and again, more desirable truth. Let me just get this up right here. I didn't put this in the full screen. Okay, that's better. That's much better. Okay, so here's another lady on the streets. Again, I'm trying to get as mixed race as possible. I'm not going to say, oh, it's only black women and such and such. No, it's all women. It's every last one of them. Every last one of you who have decided to get out, like Kevin said, you get out in these streets, it's blood sport. And you being of elderly age, you are liable to get clipped. Especially when you don't have two of your strongest suits available to you. And that is your beauty. And that is your youth and your fertility. You don't have those two things, ladies, you're in trouble. Men can go on till their dying days having babies and being available to ladies. They'll never lose that. And as long as they keep themselves relatively fit, they can go on and date women half their age and they're financially secure. They can go on and date the women half their age and they wouldn't bat an eyelash. So in this instance, we have this lady who's 40 who's going out and trying to find a new love again. At 53, ladies and gentlemen, 53. Recently divorced at 53. She said that she wants to, see what's out there. She could not stand her relationship with her husband. And let me say this. I'll let it play and then I'll go into it for a second. Let's go.
I'm divorced, 2 beautiful children in college. Being single is an interesting time because it's difficult to meet the right people in the right places, so it is a challenge.
So at this point, are you still going for like guys in your age category, younger guys, or what?
Based on my experience, if I could do like someone between my age, 50 to 60, would be the optimal range.
What do you think?
She literally told it to yourself. 50 to 60 would be her range. I would say 60. I would say men who are 60 years old, who's in their retirement range, because at the end of the day, they have the ability to slow down, and that's not even too short. Guys in their 60s will still try to get guys half their age. Women half their age, and try to make a go of it. Try to create families, because again, men are taking longer and longer to build legacies. So, therefore, at 60, they could say, okay, I'd rather have a 30-year-old or a 40-year-old. And, Jace hit a home run. Oh, very nice. Obi-Wan Kenobi. Very nice. So, ladies at the 53-year-old range now, I would say 60s to 70s, to be fair. Because at least with those guys there, if they keep themselves relatively fit, those guys are willing to slow down with you. Because they're not willing to go at a certain pace for that younger women 40 to younger 30. Well, I would say 40, but 30 to 35 were willing to go, especially with men at 53. I am in my late 40s right now, And I would say I would not date a woman 53. Definitely not. No, I wouldn't. Number one, she doesn't have fertility. Number two, she doesn't have youth anymore. So 53 is out. Definitely out for a man such as myself. So let her continue.
Men in your age category are going for women in your age, or do they want younger girls?
That's probably part of the challenge, because somebody that's 50 can date 30, 25 to 40. So I have a lot of competition, but I love myself.
Before she gets to that, I'm glad she brought this up, and I'm glad I brought this clip up for your elucidation. She said men her age in their 50s are looking for women 25, 30, 35 years old, up to 40. And she's right. Her competition is not her ALIKes. Her competition, her area of play are men 10 years to 15 years above her, who are in their 60, 65-year-olds, and they're willing to slow down with you. Men her age aren't willing to slow down. They are definitely not willing to slow down, especially if they have the financial wherewithal and they've kept fit enough to deal with women the younger age. No. 53 is not part of it, especially men who want to still build a legacy. You don't find men of means wifing up 53-year-olds. It's not happening. It just won't happen. Any day, anytime soon, ladies. That's why I say to you, dating over 40 is blood sport. It is blood sport. Because if you don't have youth, if you don't have fertility on your side, you're in trouble. You're in serious trouble. Now, that way, and what tonight is all about is finding those niche areas, as I've already pointed out, where you can live, where you can survive, where you can thrive in the dating market. And quite simply, the whole dating market is not open to you. You want ALIKes? Madonna's trying to date, she's there dating men 20 years old, but they soon leave her. Why? Because she's 60. And as youthful as she wants to be, at the end of the day, what is she bringing them youth and fertility? No, she's done having kids. And despite how much money she has, we know this is a transactional relationship. Men bring their youth, she brings her money. Done. She just wants to be surrounded by younger men. Same thing with Kim Kardashian. Kim Kardashian, one of the more lovely ladies of the world. She's in her 40s right now. She was dating Pete Davidson after Kanye. She knows after Kanye she's reached the mountaintop. She's had her 4 kids. It's been well publicized. And she's not young anymore. So she can't demand the attention of men like she used to, as much as she did. And she's finding it very hard to date in this environment, as good as she looks. She still has beauty on her side, but she finds it very difficult to date. Number one, because she is a multi-millionaire, which puts her into a very, very, very elite category where only a certain amount of men can actually date her. And those men want youth and fertility. They want a legacy to be built. And they're not going to get it with Kim. No. They're not. They've already written Kim off. She's off the map. I'm telling you the truth, ladies. I'm telling you the truth. I'd rather tell you the ugly lie than the pretty truth. And quite simply, she's off the market in terms of men her age. ALIKes her age. So, again, as much as Kanye drove her crazy, she should have stayed. She should have stayed. Let's go.
And I know I'll find the right person.
Okay, so you're looking for some long term again.
I don't know. I'm still trying to figure. Right now, I've just learned how to be alone after the first time in 27 years.
27 years, and she wants to be alone. I don't understand. I really don't understand. Hold on, I'll stop that for a second. 27 years and she wants to be alone. That makes it makes no discernible sense. absolutely no
At
discernible
53,
sin.
what's dating like for you?
Stop that for a second. Thank you very much to the Desirable Truth. Fair use, fair use, fair use. But you've been in a relationship for 27 years and want a divorce? That guy, either he's the devil incarnate or he should have stayed. I'll put it bluntly. For her being 53 and being out in these streets alone again, I mean, let's go there. Let's go there. Where is, yes, indeed. Let's go there. Stop this for a second. Thank you very much for joining me on Talk Live on IG and YouTube. Like, subscribe, comment, we're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. And again, 53.
At 53, what's dating like for you?
I have the video for you. And I just came to my, all right.
Being single is an interesting time.
We know it's an interesting time. But again, what we want to find out, let's go there. I even go a little further down the line. 40 and alone. Woman. There we go. Yes, let's go there. Let's go there. Yeah, let's do this. There we go. I mean, you see this all the time, ladies. You see it all the time. We're about to get into it. There we go. This is the video I wanted to see. Let's get here. Let's get here just quickly, and then we're going to get into the real story. So,
it comes in waves. Most of the time, I'm okay. And then it comes and hits me like nobody's business. And honestly, I've been feeling like this a lot lately. It's love. I'm tired. I'm tired of doing it myself.
I'm 32 years old. That means I've hit the wall 2 years ago, and my life has been amazing. Best 2 years. I'm Chinese. We love walls.
I quit at being independent. I don't want to do this shit anymore. This shit is draining. I'm so ready to have a man come into my life and take care of me. My tires popped. 2 of my tires popped.
here it is.
Sitting in my car
this is what I want to see. Here we go. Let's go into this because, again, 2 of our tires pop. We know that already. Let's do this. Here it is.
Most of the time, I'm okay. And then it comes and hits me like nobody's business. And honestly,
same age as the lady we already featured.
A lot lately.
Same age.
It's love. I'm tired. I'm tired of doing it myself. I'm tired of being alone. I want to share my life with someone. I am just freaking tired. It's not about being lonely, so I just want somebody. No, I want to be in love. I want to share my life with someone. I want to feel the joys. I want to have my hands held. I want to be held. I want to kiss. I want to support. I want to make coffee with that person. I want my person. I want my person.
Ladies and gentlemen, this will start out happening much more often with the modern woman these days. She is probably late baby boomer, early Gen X age. You're going to see a lot of this. A whole lot of this. Women taking their chances out there, just like the previous lady we've already featured, married 27 years, decided to just go at it alone. And without her family by her side, maybe she's empty nested, she'll start feeling it. She'll start really feeling it. Can she date at 53? Sure, but she has to go up market. She has only a certain niche amount of men who will want to date her full time. And they are in their 60s and 70s. because they're willing to slow down with her at her age. Men her age do not want her, unfortunately. If the choice was left to them, they'd rather date someone from a millennial slash, if you can do it, if you can pull it off, someone from a Gen Z platform. And men will be shamed for it, but at the end of the day, men can only do so much. And if they have the financial wherewithal, they want to get top talent. And a woman at 53 is not top talent anymore. She's not. The world has passed her by. She's hit her sexual peak. And even though she may have been married, she decided to go back out there at 50. Not a good move. To these two ladies who are 53, she may have been married. Oh, she regrets not getting married. She actually bit the modern woman apple whole and never did get married. Let alone the other lady who was 53 and married for 27 years. If she was 53 and married for 27 years, she should have stayed. Do what you can, do what you must, but you do not want to be out in these streets at 53 and alone. You don't. Just pack it in and decide to yourself, okay, either pack it in. Let me say this because there's hope for everyone. Okay, let's do that. But you have to hit a niche market, and that is a market in which men are older than you in their 60s and 70s and are willing to slow down with you. Because ladies at this age, you've slowed down. She decided not to get married, so she's an empty nester. Well, she's an empty nester here because she doesn't have kids, doesn't have a family. Who's to say? And if she didn't do it during her prime years, she's in trouble. As you can see. Let it go.
Why is it so hard to find your person?
As you can see, the wall comes for them all. It takes no prisoners and it shows no mercy. When a woman's in her 30s, 40s, or 50s, time is ticking. She's going to panic because she's going to say, where are all these guys at? I just want a guy to love me. I want a guy who wants to be with me and do all these different things. But what she's not telling you is she wants a guy who's in that top 5, 10% of earners who wants to be with her. She wants a guy who's over 6 feet tall, this Prince Charming, this perfect guy who's going to love her.
I don't know if that's the case indeed. Again, shout out to, let's keep it a stack here. Shout out to, yes, indeed, Darius M. Doing wonderful things on YouTube Street. Please like and subscribe to Darius M. But you're starting to see this more often. You're starting to see more often that these ladies, I don't know if they want the top 5 to 10%. I don't know if she can get the top 5 to 10% of earners, of gentlemen, in that space, because they're looking for someone half their age. They are. Quite simply, they are. There's no doubt about that. To be in my late 40s with I would not consider a lady like this. Definitely not. And she may indeed be looking for a top 5 to 10% man, but here's the thing. You want a warm body, ladies. At that age, you want a warm body. It's blood sport out here, and to think that you're going to get a top tier man at this age, no. You want a warm body. You want a man who could, help you change your teeth, help you get into the bathtub, help you up the stairs. That's who you want. That's your man. You don't want to die. You want someone to help you not die alone. And she is of that age where she wants to die alone. Let's face facts. Let's face facts.
That's what they don't want to say. Because I guarantee you they have a whole bunch of dudes in their DMs that are saying, hey, I can love you. Hey, I can take you out. Hey, I can do these different things. Over the years, she has rejected a whole bunch of dudes. I'm telling you. Dudes have been wanting to take her on dates. Yep. She's probably been on dates with those dudes, but she probably said, he's too nice, or I don't like this specific thing about him, or I don't want to deal with that type of guy. He's this, he's that. So now as they get older, they start to realize, man, where did I go wrong? Where did I go wrong? Well, you're too picky. There's a lot of men who want to be with her, who want to be with every woman, but these women think that they're too good for those type of guys.
Stopping right there. Very good point that he raises right there, and this I agree with. My mother had a saying, and it's a Guyanese saying, and I don't know if you are familiar with it, but if you are, then this will bring a chuckle to you. You pick it till you pick shit. She picked and picked and picked while in her prime years till now she's 53 and alone. Now she's got to pick shit. Now you got to pick men who want to take you on, who want to take you under their wing, and who are willing to deal with you and your issues. Because it ain't a man of certain means that her age. Hell no. They're still fighting back the dawn. They're still fighting the good fight. They're still fighting the good fight. But I'll have one more, and then we're going to get to the main topic of order, and it is this lady right here. Let's get to it.
How old are you?
I'm 47.
Are you going for...
Hold on, just a second. Let me see if I can get this expanded here. Hold on, back up. Oh, man.
When it comes to dating and relationships,
There we go.
How old are you?
I'm 47.
Are you going for older men or younger men right now?
I'm going for someone that is probably a little bit younger to maybe a...
Let me see if I can expand this out. Usually I can do that. Hold on a second. I had it here, how to do that sort of thing. We'll let it play. We'll let it play out because I seem to not have the technology to do it. But anyways, let's see what we can do. Thank you very much for joining me at Talk Live. Like, subscribe, comment. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. And it is hot down here. Let me say that. Woohoo! We got the heat turned up tonight. Anyways, lucky I paid the bill. Here we go.
Only a few years older.
Okay, so what's a little bit younger? Like 45, 43?
At least 40. At least 40.
Okay. Would you say that at your age your sex drive is higher than it's ever been before?
I would say definitely.
Okay. I've dealt with ladies her age at 47. She is either capping or not, but let's go there. Let's go there. A lady dating at 47 years old. To say that she's at her sexual peak, it's a bit of a misnomer. It's a bit of misrepresentation. Someone in her 30s would have, I would say, a higher sex drive than she would. Somebody in her 20s definitely would. But at 47, it's a bit of cap. Just a bit of cap. Not to say she's not a pretty lady now. Let me say that.
So do you think that 47-year-old men are going for women your age, or are they going for younger women?
I'm sure they're looking for someone younger. Absolutely.
And why would that be the case?
Like a single man at this stage of my life is looking for maybe a little more excitement, or they're just getting out of a long relationship, so they're not looking for like a commitment. Someone my age that's dating, we're looking to settle down and be with the person that we're going to end up with.
So there you go. When at... She's probably going, I don't know about that. But anyway, here's the thing. At 47 years old, women are slowing down. Men are still speeding up to a certain extent. As long as they keep themselves fit and relatively in good financial shape. She is looking to slow down. She is looking for someone to take her into her later years so she doesn't die alone. She's at that point right now because her two pillars, fertility and youth, are gone. She can't have kids I'm sure, if not through IVF or a surrogate, but she can't have kids. She's not a Janet Jackson here. She's not a Jennifer Lopez here. She's not those. Those are ALIs. Those are one-of-ones who can manage to get a guy their age and they'd be content with them. But at the end of the day, their fertility's gone too, so they can't really. AKA the Kim Kardashian theory. She can't get a guy her age, no. She can't. As much money and as beautiful as she is, she's got the 4 kids, she's pretty much... She has made herself perfect for Kanye West and no one else. And this lady here is showing you that as good as she looks, let me say this, as good as she looks, isn't able to cut it in the dating market. She isn't. Quite simply, she is not. I have been out there. I have seen these things. I have seen it. And for you to say you're at your sexual peak is a bit of false advertising. You're not at your sexual peak at 47. You are not. You are not, ladies. Take it from a man who's dated women in their 40s. They are not at their sexual peak. They're asking their men to slow down a bit for them so they can keep up. Especially for a guy like myself who's been in the gym for at least 25 odd years. They're looking to slow down. They are. Let's keep it a buck. But again, she's wearing her Spanx, she's getting out there, she's doing her thing, and she's a pretty lady. But without her youth and without her fertility, she's at a loss. And she's going to lose to women half her age, 20 years her junior. She's going to lose. So she has to find a certain discernible market. So let's get into this one video we have here. Dating in your 40s. Oh, yes. This is what I wanted. This is the, from Crystal Renee Hazlett. Yes, the lady from Atlanta. Shout out to Crystal Renee Hazlett. If you want to subscribe to her, and thank you very much for her for making this video and for making herself and her putting herself out there for the world to see, especially on this subject, dating in your 40s. This is what I came to discuss, and she has some interesting takes, to say the least, on dating in your 40s. You need to deserve it, she says, Chanel. Okay, well, I mean, yeah, you need to deserve it, but at the end of the day, you've, at the end of the day, as beautiful as women in their 40s are, and I've seen them, at the end of the day, they don't have the 2 pillars, youth and fertility. And if you don't have those things, you're at a loss to men, especially in this dating market. But let's get into this video right here, where this lady tells us her activities in the dating market, and it's a lot to take in. I'll say that. Let's go.
To this episode of Keep It Positive, Sweetie. I'm Crystal Renee, and
okay,
today,
we'll get into it.
Level that I do it, because that's not what I need you for. I need love. I need affection. I need the love languages. And there,
okay,
40s, there's so many factors that come into place. Your biological clock is ticking. Society has put so much stress on, you need to get married by this age. You need to start having children.
Your biological clock is gone. It's not ticking, it's gone. It's literally gone into overtime, and you're asking for a last-minute Hail Mary shot from Steph Curry to land. That's where your biological clock is right now, ladies, at 40. That's exactly where it is. It's either through IVF or through a surrogate that you will have a child. And if you get one, it's only one. And that's that. So that's the first lie of this whole thing. She's already started the lies. But anyways, let her go. Let her go.
By this age. And my acting career got started very late. And what I thought was late, but then I realized some of the greatest artists there are started in their 40s. So I'm actually not
Typically men, but let's go.
As insecure about that as I was before, but I was worried about that. My biological clock is ticking.
It's gone.
I found myself attracting like 20-year-olds. And I was like, what is this? 'Cause I know I don't look 40. That was the first thing. I don't look like how old I am.
Okay, this is where the delusion begins, people. Guys know you look like 40. I'll tell you later. I'll tell you that right now from jump. Guys know, look at you, and they can say, oh, she's 40. They may, try to appeal to your good nature and good judgment and say, oh, you're 30 and such and such. Now we know. We pretty much know. They see there as their piece is not about no, Chanel, let me tell you something. And thank you very much for the comment. And I appreciate your participation in this video. We care about it a lot. Sex, we care about a lot. Yeah. Even in our 40s, even in the age of yourself, we care about it a lot. It's a huge thing. It's still a big deal. We care about it a lot. It's not about sex. Okay. The reason why men go, I'll tell you this, Chanel, the reason why men go to the younger market to find women is because they want to keep up with their sexual desires. Men still in their 40s want to have sex every single day. Every day. Every day. And that's the one thing that a lot of ladies don't get right in their 40s. Oh, guys, you can take it once a week and he'll be fine. No, we want it every day. If you're of a certain stature, if you haven't injured yourself too much, if you kept yourself physically fit, believe me, they want it every day. Every day. Now, again, we can hold off on sex, on such desires to, a relatively, good level. But, yeah, we want it every day. It's not about sex. No, it is about sex. Believe me. Even in your 40s, it is still about sex. Until you hit your 60s and 70s and onwards, then it starts, oh, it's not about sex then. Yeah, okay, fine. I can agree with that. But in your 40s, you still want it. Yeah. Yeah. Let her continue.
I was attracting young people, and with that, it became a stress because I knew they wanted children. I'm like, okay, these are conversations we have to have. And I always wanted to date somebody that's either my age or a little older. And honestly, that already had children because I didn't want that pressure. I don't want the pressure of, okay, if he wants children, I can't give him that. Like, what if I pass that stage in my life? And
there it is, people. That is the key. And she refers to it right there. She doesn't have fertility on her side. That's why she has to go up market. She has to go to the 50s and the 60s gentlemen who have already had kids. She said it herself. She said it herself. She literally said, I can't deal with men who want kids because I can't give them that. She's already sold herself out. She's already tits up, as they say, pardon the pun, on that issue because she can't give it. She is not having kids. She passed her sexual peak. She passed the age of youth. She passed the age of fertility and said, I'm not having kids. So to those men who are in their 20s that want to have children, she can't pass it on to them. So therefore, she has to dissuade herself from 20-year-old because quite simply 20-year-olds are there for experience. Let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it 1,000. Let's keep it a stack, as the kids would say. They're there with this woman in order to, get their rocks off and move on. Simple as that. To gain that sexual experience so they can take it on to the woman whom they consider their long-lasting partner, if not their future wife. So for her to turn around and say, oh, well, she's absolutely right in turning around to say, yes, I need to find a man that doesn't want kids or has already had kids and doesn't want any more because she's already shut the door on her chances of having children. And quite simply, that limits you. That's the one pillar that men need in order to take you seriously. You need to be fertile. Calling from a man's point of view, ladies. You've heard the rest. Listen to the best. I'm not saying I'm the best, but you get the point. Once you pass that age of fertility, once you've hit your 40s and your eggs are gone, it's on. That meaning your end of your dating life is pretty much on right now. You're looking for someone to, carry you on to the sweet by and by. To be blunt. To be absolutely blunt. Now, you have a woman like Crystal here, who's saying to herself, hey, I'm a TV star. I can, extend time, but I'll let her cook. See where it goes. Let's see.
The other thing that's really hard about dating in your 40s is, for me, is finding a man that's not intimidated. I've dated, and then men see how I'm living, and it's like, oh, I can't keep up with that. And I'm like, I don't need you to keep up. The things I need from you, of course, I want someone who has something going on for themselves. Of course, I want somebody who can do the things for me that I can do for them, but it doesn't have to always be on the level that I do it, because that's not what I need you for. I need love. I need affection. I need the love languages. And there's 5, and I need all of them.
You're in your 40s, ladies. Let me break this down to you right now. You're in your 40s. There are 2 things from that little clip. 2 things that stick out like sore thumbs because of that clip. Number 1, she's still wanting all 5 love languages. She's lucky to have a warm body in her bed for a long-term basis. Let me break it down to her. She has had people telling her all she wants in her ear for all this time. So you see, you get this air of superiority, you get this air of arrogance to say, I want all my 5 love languages fulfilled. You're lucky to get a warm body in your bed on a long-term basis, let alone have all of your 5 love languages fulfilled at this stage in your life, my dear. That one really got to me. She's not humble. She has not humbled herself. The great Kevin Samuels has already said, she is in no man's land. No man's land. She's literally in no man's land, and she's calling out for orders to be fulfilled. Number 1. Number 2, you can see a hint, you can hear a hint of the sort of money it would take to be around her. And she'll get into it later. Oh, she'll get into it. A man's got to have means in order to deal with her. Even though she doesn't have 2 of the key pillars in her life, she still wants a man of means to deal with her. My dear, for you to have the absolute steel ring balls, and I mean steel ringed, to say something like that, what can I say? You'll find out in time that bed is going to be well cold, well into your 40s and 50s. You have a comment here. Let me see. You need to understand that real men that love women, they don't. Oh my God! Real men that love women, they don't want sex. I'm going to steal a page out of Curtis Shaw, my friend's playbook. I need to say that again. You need to understand that real men who love women, they don't want sex. That statement has got to be, I'll be right with you, King Onan, that statement has got to be the biggest bunch of crap. And I love you for saying that, and I appreciate you for saying that, Chanel. But to be fair and frank, We cannot go around saying those things about men. You cannot. The man has literally has to have some sort of sexual dysfunction in order for you to say that. A man to his dying days will always want sex. Always want sex. The pornographic industry are built off men who still want sex into their 40s and 50s. Still want it. Still want it. Still want it. The prostitution ring, the oldest profession in the world, is still built off men in their 40s and 50s. So for you to say something like that, we need to make her relax with that. We need to make her relax with that. So, I'm going to try and get my man on here, King Onan. King Onan, how are you, sir? I just heard, did you hear the last comment from my...
Let me take off these.
Did you hear the last comment from my my good friend Chanel? Chanel, thank you for the comment. She says that men don't care about sex. Real men don't care about sex, even at this stage in their life. If you could please...
Can you hear me laughing?
If you could please share your opinion with this lovely lady, and I thank you very much for the comment. That men don't care for sex. Real men don't care for sex.
Really? So what's the purpose of having the penis and testosterone?
Oh.
And going to the gym and taking care of yourself.
Oh, please. Yeah.
You know what? As my father would say with his life, in his African accent, rubbish, pure rubbish, you're speaking.
Can we say fairly? I'll ask this for you. Can we say fairly that the porn industry are built off men in their 40s and 50s? Quite simply, the prostitution industry are built off men in their 40s and 50s who can't get it at home and literally have to go outside of their homes in order to, well, get their rocks off.
Historically, yes, but from what they're saying now is that a lot of women are actually consuming porn. And a lot of women in the age groups you're talking about are actually consuming it.
Yes. So you're saying now that women care about sex too? It's including those in their 40s. I mean, I just featured a lady right here who said she's at her sexual peak at 47.
Well, that's interesting because, maybe because it's a suppressed sexual peak. Because maybe she was suppressing it all those years and didn't get enough, or she was dating the wrong people, or she wasn't dating at all. So it's a repression. It's suppressed. But I don't know if that's the truth. What I do know is that men. Let me tell you something. Men want pussy at any age.
Oh.
At any age. Isn't Al Pacino 83 years old and he fathered a child?
Was he? I don't know if he lived to his later years like that. But again. Yeah, I could see the point. Again, as I've revealed earlier on, yeah, into their later years, until their dying days, men will always want sex.
Yes, but the thing is, men can still produce at that age.
That's true. This is true.
So women have to actually be very smart when they're picking their partners, and they got to start young and using wisdom. You know what's so funny? E? I find women now who are late 40s, early 50s, are coming to me. Like, oh, they want to date and stuff, but they've got all the baggage. When I met them in my 20s, they weren't interested.
Yeah.
I wasn't a viable option. I wasn't anything that they wanted. Even approaching them, nah, you're not. They come now 20 years later, and I'm like, why are you coming back to me now 20 years later? It doesn't make any sense.
Because they know that the two pillars are gone, and they need you now. They need someone who can provide them procreation, protection, problem solving, and literal provision.
Yeah, I don't get it. don't understand that type of mentality. Even just to have somebody like that as a friend, you're not that type of guy. No, you're not that guy.
Just a second. We have to come back. So, this bloody Instagram. So come on back with me in the next hour. I'm just going to reboot and we're going to start again. Jesus. Let's do this. Back live. Thank you very much for joining me on Talk Live. Yes, we're going to get into this video again. Instagram is an absolute nightmare when it comes to long-form videos. You have to have a certain amount of people in order to get a certain amount of hours available to you. So again, we are doing it the ski mask way, as they say. And we're going to get into this video again. So thank you very much for joining me in the second hour of Talk Live. I was having a very frank discussion with King Onan and men in their 40s. But we're going to continue this video. We're going to continue this video and let this lady cook for a bit until my man comes back, and then we're going to continue with the conversation. So thank you very much for joining me on Talk Live on IG and YouTube. Sponsored by Duntalk, DUNTALK.com. Fall winter line out now, and it's a banging fall winter line, to be fair. All right, so let's continue.
I need someone that is emotionally supportive to me, someone that supports my career. And I've found that a lot of men are not in a space of maturity or even have the bandwidth to give me that. They're so used to just buying women and, oh, I'll go do this, I'll pay for this, and everything's going to be okay. No, I need you to be my homie, my lover, and my friend. And
a man on his purpose is not going to follow you around like a puppy dog and give you the homie lover friend. Here's the thing about this, and that's really wild. That is absolutely stunningly wild. Is that this woman thinks she's still in her 20s and still at her sexual peak. And she still thinks that she is running the dating world. No, you are not running the dating world anymore. The world is not at your feet the way it used to be. And for you to have the attitude that you want all your love languages satisfied, you want a man to be your homie lover friend, you want a man to be supportive of you and all your endeavors, at this age, where youth and fertility are gone, is an absolute... I don't know what to say. Clearly this woman is delusional. Clearly. This is the height of delusion. When she thinks that a man is going to follow a man on his purpose, because believe me, she doesn't want a broke man, she wants a rich guy. And do you think, if she thinks the man is going to follow her around like a puppy dog and be a simp to which she will never respect and support her career and all this other nonsense, she's got another thing coming. The thing about it, ladies, and I've said it here on Talk Live time and time again, you'll hear it on other, channels on YouTube, channels on TikTok, channels on Rumble, Fresh and Fit, to be fair, and the late Kevin Sandwich has already alluded to this subject, is that, ladies, you need to be fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative, submissive to a man, especially now. Especially in your 40s. To think that you can go on in this dating market acting like a guy, you are sorely mistaken. And she is in for a big time surprise. She's in for a big fall. Huge fall. I don't care where she stands in the dating market. I don't care where she stands in terms of her acting career. She's in for a fall. She's in for it. To say that she wants a man to support her, and she wants all her love languages fulfilled, and she wants a man to pay the bills, and she wants a man to do all these other things, it's ridiculous! She doesn't hold sway in the dating market anymore. Those times are gone. Literally gone. They're gone. She doesn't hold sway in the dating market anymore, yet she still thinks her money will dictate so. And that is a lie. I'll tell you that straight out. That's a damn lie. You're lucky to get a man to stay with you with those attitudes. Because no man's staying around you like that. Not a man with his word, not a man on his purpose, not a man who is financially and physically sound. No. No. No, 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 no. You may get some guy from, one of the lovely islands of the Caribbean, and I'm not knocking them. You may get a guy like that, but even they won't take you. They won't take you with an attitude like that. That's what really got my goat here. That she thinks that she can run the dating market like a man at her age. No. 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 That's not happening. She goes on.
That's where I feel like even dating, I just haven't found all three of those things in a man. When I think about some of my like worst and best dates, one of the best dates I ever had, I was living in DC, and this was when The Devil Wears Prada was out. Anybody who knows me knows I can quote The Devil Wears Prada from top to bottom. Like, I love that movie. And I had never taken a train ride before, so we took the train from DC to New York. He took me to Nobu 57. And this is like when Nobu was like just...
Keep notes. She's giving you markers as to what type of man she really wants. Keep note here to Nobu. Let it go.
Starting to pop because it was in every rap song. So like it was like, oh, we're going to Nobu tonight. So we went to Nobu, and then the next day he took me to see The Color Purple. After the play, he took me to Smith and Lewin.
The Color Purple. I need not have to explain that one. That is just okay. But Smith and Walensky, let's go. She's giving you a hint as to the man she really wants. That really doesn't want her. But we'll let it ride.
Which was the restaurant that Meryl Streep had Anne Hathaway go get her lunch. And when she brought it, she goes, oh, I don't need it. I'm going to have lunch with Demarchier. And she was like pissed. So she takes the plate and throws it in the sink, and the plate cracks and all this stuff. So we went there. We got the exact same steak that Meryl Streep had ordered, or that Anne Hathaway had ordered for Meryl Streep. And I was like, this is the most thoughtful Valentine's Day I've ever had, and probably still one of the most thoughtful weekends. So I was like really planned out for me. And then we got back home. He bought me my first Louis Vuitton bag, and I was like, okay, yeah, this is great.
Oh my God. I'm sure that date happened during her sexual peak. That date, where she went to Smith & Walensky, where she went to Nobu, when she went to The Color Purple, where she got a Louis Vuitton bag. Those items would have come when she was still within the realms of her sexual peak. So she was in her, I would say, early to mid-30s. I would say. When she was relatively fertile. They ain't happening now. Those days are not coming back. I can guarantee you that. She may find a man who can fulfill some of those things, but not all those things. Those deals are gone. Those days are gone. Those days are gone. Those days are long gone. She wants those days back. But can she get those days back? No. Because she doesn't have youth and fertility on her side. She may be good looking relatively to someone, but those days of youth and fertility are gone. And if you don't have those two things, all those things that she's reported right now that she wants aren't coming her way. She'll have to foot the bill herself. And believe me, she doesn't want to do that. She doesn't want to do that. She wants, more or less, to be treated like she was still in her sexual peak. she is still at her highest level of her sexual marketplace value, and that's not happening. But I'll let it go.
And then I found out that he was a scammer. Yeah. They always say when things seem to be too good to be true, they probably are. And I was like,
did you hear that? The man who bought her all these things and did all these and was as chivalrous as possible was a scammer. Yes. I don't know what type of scammer she is. She'll get into it in a minute, but yeah. Sold her the world, and at the end of the day, couldn't afford to keep it up. That is simpish mentality, to be fair, but this is what most women want these days. I'm going to get back to the King Onan in just 1 second here, and we're going to continue the conversation. Yes, indeed. So we're going to go back with King Onan now and get into my little chair and then get into my big chair. Okay. Oh, I wanted to go live with King Onan. Okay, well, let's try again. King Onan, come back. I'm here. So I'm in my little chair. But I'll just do one more comment and then we'll get into you. All right? Sorry. Pause. Yeah? Okay, fair enough.
like, Lord, how does this man work for the government and he's scamming? He had this man, and I don't want to be stereotypical because if you live in Atlanta, we know there's a lot of scammers. And most of them are of African descent. So he had this African friend who he owed him some money, and he's like, hey, babe, can whatever his name was put this money in your account? So I was like, sure. So I wake up one morning and there's I wake up and there's like a negative $1 million on my bank statement. I'm like, a negative $1 million? I'm like, first of all, I'm working for the government. I know I ain't making no $1 million. I'm like, and who pulled out $1 million? It wasn't saying negative. So I called the bank and they were like, oh, that's because there's a fraud alert on your account because the money that was deposited the other day was actually stolen. What? Y'all, I cannot make this shit up. So like on my lunch.
Selling him the dream. King Onan, keep trying, buddy. I'm trying to bring you in, but keep trying. But here's the thing. I'm going to continue here. That is what you come to expect from a lot of ladies in their 40s. Well, to be fair and frank, let me get into my big chair. You're going to find experiences just like that, where men will sell you part of the dream, but not all the dream, because you're not fulfilling all of the requirements a man wants. You get all those requirements when you are at your sexual peak. That's when you get all those requirements fulfilled. She didn't get those requirements fulfilled because, quite simply, now we know she was in her mid to late 30s then, and she was saying, oh, I'm entitled to all these things. No, you're not. No, you're not. Any man worth his salt knows you're not. You are now in no man's land. You are now, sorry to say this. If you want, close your ears, but I'm going to say it anyway. You're an RUO. Recreational use only lady. To some. Not to all, but to some. Yes. To certain men of certain means, if they know that your biological clock is nearly out, take her to a certain place, take her to this and this. I mean, that's a lot to do for a lady, but it's not his money anyway, so he can do it. But that is what we're seeing right now, these times lately. Ladies, I'm just letting you into the locker room now. I'm letting you into the locker room and letting you see that men of that age, yeah, we could settle down, but you've got to either humble yourself or realize that you'll be a part of that next category, especially with a woman with this sort of delusional requirements from a man. delusional requirements. But let it go.
I had to go to Bank of America and put out an affidavit to let them know it wasn't me. And they're like, no, we know it wasn't you. And but I couldn't have an account with them for like years because of that. It was crazy. So you got to be careful who you date and get to know people, because it was real good and then it got real bad. Let's see, another bad date. I want to tell y'all some funny stories. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I haven't really been in a serious relationship since 2017. So the dating has been very far and few between.
I'm so glad she said that. She's been out of the dating market. This is 2023. This is done. This is just done literally a month ago. She's been out of the dating market for 6 years. 6 years. And she wonders why her dating prospects have been slowly drying up. Like a few other things on her anatomy. I'm not going to say what they are, but you know what I mean. There's a reason for that. Because her expectations are up here, and her age and her fertility are down here. So you're not going to find a meeting of the minds, as they say here. Yeah? In contract law ease. There's no meeting of the minds here. You have your expectations up here. You still think that you are at your sexual peak, and yet your youth and fertility are down here. The damn near, bottom of barrel level. You're nearly out to pasture. So therefore, she's looking for a man who fills certain requirements. However, she can't fill certain requirements herself. She's not willing to humble herself to be exalted. She's not willing to do it. So guess what? She'll be out of the dating market for a long time to come. Men will love you in your 50s. Yes, Chanel, thank you very much for the comment. As always, I do appreciate your participation in the show. However, it's a certain type of man who loves you. Certain alikes who, and I'll get into this later in the show, certain alikes, certain contemporaries in your age bracket who have already had kids and not willing to do any more, they'll love you. Certain men who are older than you, who are, willing to slow down, they'll love you. But men who are younger than you, it's going to take some doing. Men who are really younger than you, then it becomes transactional. Then it becomes transactional. Men who are of your age bracket that have already had their kids, already had their families, and not willing to have any more. You know what it's like? I'll tell you what it's like. Ben Affleck is a perfect example of that. Ben Affleck, with Jennifer Garner, had his kids. Then he saw Jennifer Lopez in her 50s and said, you know what, she's a good-looking girl, and I've already done having my kids, so I'm good. So I'll stick around with you. There's something profitable here, so I'll stick around. Yeah, because, even though I'm younger, I pretty much don't want to, push the boat out anymore. That are the ones who love you in your 50s. Those are those. The Jennifer Lopez types who've already had the Ben Affleck types who've already had their kids, already had their families. They're done. They've cashed their chips in. They're willing to come back to and they're willing to come back to deal with a lovely lady such as yourself. I don't know your history, but you may have already had your kid and you say, you know what? Account's closed. So take me as I am in my 50s. And that's basically it. That's the meeting of the minds we're talking about here. You're willing to give in terms of your concessions of what you want in a man, and he's willing to give some concessions of what he wants in a woman. You have a meeting of the minds. Go with God with that. I like older women. She doesn't have to be trained. Well, she doesn't have to be trained? Michael, I would say this. Thank you very much for the comment. I do appreciate you participating in the show, and please, let us continue with this conversation. But your expectations are, I don't know if you've already had your children already. I don't know if you've already started a family. But if you're getting to a woman in her 40s at this time, and you know you're going to have one and done, or none at all. Believe me, you'd have certain requirements of your woman. Definitely so. Does she have to be trained? I would say fit, feminine, family, cooperative, submissive. Cooperative, submissive, yeah. She has to have a certain degree of training. And she should know better at that age. She should know better. Crystal should know better at her age. That she can't go around with this arrogance thinking that she can run the dating market. She doesn't run the dating market anymore. Men her age do. She doesn't. She doesn't anymore. That's done. That's over with. That ship has sailed when she hit 30. Sailed. But she continues in her diatribe. Let's go.
But I dated this other guy who was a little older, and one of my biggest pet peeves is someone who doesn't tip well. Judge me if you want to, but I feel like when there are people in hospitality, you should take care of them, especially if they look out for you, and especially if I'm taking.
Okay, let's keep going.
I actually set the reservation up because that was another thing. I was always having to set up everything. I'm like, bro, dog, like, can you do anything? Like, what is going on? Like, I don't understand that about men who, like, it's like the courtship has been lost. Like, how men used to, like, send flowers. We're going to talk about that, too. How men used to send flowers, take time in advance to set up, hey, I want to take you out on this day. They wait till the day of, like, oh, what are you doing tonight? There's no initiative anymore.
Because you're 40. That's why. Initiative's out the window. Put bluntly. You want initiative? You should have taken advantage of that initiative when you were at your sexual peak. That's when initiative comes in. That's when men send you flowers. That's when men send you all the thing that God provides you. You see, ladies, a lot of ladies have taken advantage of this, but a lot of ladies like her have not. And when you have missed the boat in terms of the advantages created for you when you were younger, 10 years, 12 years, 15 years younger, as in this instance, and you do not heed those certain perks of being at the sexual peak, well, life will return and bring you lemons. Men will stop planning dates as they used to. Unless there are certain men who do, but a lot of men won't. Men won't spend the money on you the way you used to. Unless you're of a certain strata of life and, you get a man who's willing to do it. But you're not going to get that. We're not talking in the realm of celebrity here. Let me say that. We're talking in the realm of rank and file, ordinary, salt of the earth people. And if you have not taken advantage of your youth and fertility at this time, things will start dropping off. And that's why she hasn't dated in 6 years. What she came to expect is not coming to her anymore. She has to start doing the work, like making reservations. She has to do the work now. I wonder why. At the end of the day, there are men who still, will do the right thing, will do their due diligence. And who will, as I would. I still plan dates, I still do these certain things, but again, other men won't. Knowing who you are. Knowing where you stand in life. Because men are willing to spend money, men are willing to invest in those who they can grow with, they can build a life with. It's like dealing with penny stocks and blue chip stocks. When you hit your 40s, ladies, you're now a penny stock. It's up to a man to take a chance on you to see if you can mature and bring some value to him in his life. And listen, you better be fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative, submissive in order to do that. You better use your beauty to your advantage for him to do that. That's when you're a penny stock. That's when he'll invest. And even so, it won't be of the greatest amount. Once you're a blue chip stock, like when you're in your 18 to 28, 29-year-old period, then men are willing to throw a little more money out there, willing to build portfolios around you because they know they're going to get a return on investment. They're guaranteed to do that. But when you're 40s, ladies, for you to think that you still hold sway in the dating marketplace, and I've shown you before, you're only leading yourself to a fall. I guarantee you that. You cannot have these sort of attitudes going into the dating market, or else you'll sit like Crystal over here. Let me make sure I got her name right, please. I hope it's Crystal. I do hope it is Crystal. Yes. Crystal, yes. I'm right. You'll sit like Crystal over here, 6 years, waiting for Prince Charming to arrive, and he won't. He won't. You have to take the lemons given to you and make lemonade. Now you're starting to date like a man. Because you didn't take advantage of what God gave you. Again, women are trust fund millionaires in the dating market. Men are self-made millionaires. Once you squandered your riches, ladies, while still at your sexual peak, this is what awaits you at the end of the day. Cobbling things together in order to make a life for yourself.
Talk about the flowers real quick. So I love flowers. Anybody who knows me knows that I love flowers. Do you know I dated this guy and he literally looked me in my face and said, "Do you know why I haven't gotten you flowers?" And I was like, "Why?" "I do want to know." "Actually, yes." And he said, because you want them. What sense does that make? He said, "But when I do it," he said, "it's going to be so elaborate. You're going to be like, oh my gosh." And I was like, "You're making no sense. If you know this is a part of my love language and this is something that makes me happy, do it. Because I do that for you." And that's another thing, understanding like how.
Ladies, and this is something that a lot of ladies have to deal with over time. A lot. One woman wants to date like a man. She does. This one right here does. She does. She wants to date like a man. Crystal wants to date like a man. Who really cares about age? Men do. Men care about age. Big time. Why do you think most men still want to date women half their age? I asked that. Thank you very much for the comments, Chanel. I love the dialogue between us. Why do you think men want to date women half their age? I ask you that. Because we care about it. Because we can build a legacy from it. That's why. We know that at age 30, 90% of women's fertile eggs are gone. We know at 35, 95% of those eggs are gone. We know at 40, it's pretty much game over. You're going to need help. You're going to need to freeze your eggs, in vitro fertilization, or surrogate to get the job done, which is what men have been asking for from time immemorial, which is a legacy, which is family, which is children. That's why we care about age. Let's get back to the flowers.
How people need to be loved, because the way I love may not be the way my man needs to be loved. So understanding that, hey, okay, Crystal's love language is all the love languages. So let me make sure at some point I'm touching her. Let me make sure at some point I give her affection. Make sure at some point I give her affirmations. I give her gifts. I do acts of service for her. And I feel like that's all encompassed in a relationship. And I'm not saying do all those things every single day, but like just consistently let me know, hey babe, I see you, I hear you, and I feel you. And
that is the biggest load of tosh I've heard in a while. I don't know what to say. She wants all the love languages at her age. Believe me, ladies, you need to humble yourself. You really, really, really do. What I'm not hearing from her is what she's willing to do for a man. I'm thinking that she'll do it later. But what I'm not hearing from her is all about what she wants. Not what men want. And if she doesn't learn that lesson, especially at her age, you're in for a big shock. You're in for a big fall. She's in for it. Because people have catered to her hand over foot. She's been an actress and da-da-da-da-da. I'm thinking that this, I have a certain standard of living, and a man's supposed to cater to it, and I'm supposed to get all 5 love languages, and I'm supposed to be taken from place to place to place. I'm supposed to be bought Chanel bags. You don't run the market anymore. That's what she is yet to realize. Kim Kardashian doesn't run the market. Jennifer Lopez doesn't run the market. Any woman worth her salt past the age of 40 doesn't run things anymore. So she's going to sit on that couch. You're watching on Talk Live right now on YouTube. Thank you very much for joining me. Like, subscribe, comment. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. She will sit on that couch alone for a long time to come because she hasn't come to realize that it's not about her anymore. It's not about her. It isn't. It's about what she can provide a man in her life. She has lost 2 of the 3 big pillars in a man. She may still have relatively good looks, but her attitude is going to keep her alone for a long time to come. A long time. Chanel, you don't ask for nothing at 50. You're right. You shouldn't. Neither should she. In her elevated position, she should not care to ask for the amount of things she does. Because no Prince Charming is coming to her aid, realizing that, she's already led with the story, guys. She said to her, I'm not having children, neither am I having them into the future. When men hear that, ladies, and let me say this for the cheap seats, let me say this for your edification. When men hear that you are not having children, that is like literally the biggest mic drop. I'll do it again so you can see. Pen drop, pencil drop. Test done to us. Because you're literally telling us that you're here, yes, to help us help us through our older years into our retirement and eventual leaving of this mortal coil. But at the end of the day, you can't build a legacy with us. If you can't build a legacy with us, then you're not top tree anymore. You're not there anymore. You're not at the apex of the dating market the way you used to be. And so men will not invest in you. Not to the same way that they did 10 years prior when she was in her late 20s, early 30s, they won't do it. They won't do it. Because they know this is a commodity of diminishing returns. I hate to say it that way, ladies, but it's true. Michael Little says, I think she can, but there's a limit to what can be provided if you're not... Do you think a rich man is going after her there, Michael? Do you really think a rich guy's going after her, knowing that she cannot, that her youth and her fertility are gone? You think a young guy's going after her? Or a man her age is going after her? With the same vim and vigor? Unless, and I do mean unless, he doesn't want to have children? Ask yourself that question. Because it ain't happening. I'll tell you. I'll tell you the answer. It's not happening. Putting it out there. Not happening. Straight facts. Straight goods. Not happening. I'll tell you that. She's put on the table, no, I'm not having any kids. You're what? You're not having what? Okay. Well, let's see how long this lasts after 3 dates. If we can see about some sort of sexual exchange. If not, then, well, I wish you well going forward. And they'll part ways. Any man worth his salt is not going to stick around for this. No, she's not. She's clearly delusional. And I mean clearly. She wants what she wants. That's fine. But guess what? She's not going to, how should I say this? Run the dating market after 40. It's not happening. She still thinks that, but it's not happening. She's not 28 anymore. It's not happening. A few comments here. His talk, he's talking about me. No, I don't know about it. He's talking about you anyways. Maybe he's got kids already and he's just looking for, that's exactly right. That's the only, now you're getting it. That's the market she needs to deal in. He's got kids, doesn't want anymore. That's the market she wants to deal in. But here's the thing. That man needs to be rich too. Did you not hear her favorite date? Tickets to dinner at Nobu. A Color Purple play. Smith & Walensky dining. And a Birkin bag at the end of the day. She's not getting that. You're getting that from a lovesick, star-struck scammer. You'll get that from him. But you're not getting that from the rank and file. You're not getting that from rich guys. Because they know why. Rich guys are rich for a reason. Because they know who to invest in. You're not investing in a woman like this. Straight goods, you're not. But I'll let her go.
When he did that, I was just like, okay, this is crazy. I was like, you're not my guy. You can go. And the other guy who didn't tip well, it was just like, you know, if you don't treat, I feel like if you don't treat, the way you treat like waiters and people who are there to serve you, if you don't treat them right, that's an immediately dismissal for me. Even when I think about like the dating process as a 40-year-old woman, it's not the same as it was in my 30s. Like, sis don't have time. You know, I'm like, okay, what are we doing? Like, I'm not applying the pressure like day one unless I really, really like you. I'm like, is you my husband or my cousin? Because I need to know, what are we doing? Apply the pressure because I like you. But I do like to take time to get to know my person. I am big on referrals. I really do not like meeting strangers. I want to know somebody that knows you to vouch for you and say, okay, yeah, this person isn't crazy, or this is his past, this is what he's been through. I need a little background check on you.
Of course, that's dating 101. You know, anybody worth their salt realizes that dating doesn't happen at dating apps. Dating happens when a friend refers a friend to you. Then dating happens. Chanel, you may not look for money ever, but she does. Let me say that for the cheap seats. She does. At her elevated age, she does. That's why she hasn't dated in a while. That's why she hasn't dated out of the market for 30 years. For 6 years, I could only imagine what Kevin would say to her when she called in. I'll tell you. I'll just take a stab at this. Your dating muscles have relaxed. You're not able to date effectively. And you're bringing delusions into the dating market. Those that most men who have been through these streets already and know where the blood is spilled will let you know straight out that sort of attitude will get you killed out there. Well, I like this love story between you and Chanel going on there, Michael and Michael and Chanel. I like that. That's cool. That's cool. I like that. That's cool. But anyways, I get back to this. Let it continue.
I just want me to feel safe. And then even with my success, like I have to be more strategic about the type of men that I even am around. You know, I have to make sure that you just don't have a lot going on, that you're here for the right reasons. Even like the dating phase. Like before I could go a year and still be wondering like, what are we doing? Now after a few months, like, okay, we know each other, like, what are we doing? Like, are we gonna make this thing official? You trying to put a ring on it? You trying to be my life partner? What? But it's definitely.
Now here's something that hits her acutely in the face is the fact that now the pressure's on her. She wants to turn it up. She realizes her time is short now. So she needs to turn up the pressure herself. This is something that is a transition from when she was younger, and it was up to the man to say, oh, where are we, how we stand, and, you know, yes, we decide who gets into to whom we get into a relationship with. Women hold hegemony in terms of who has access to sex. Men have hegemony in terms of who has access to relationships. But she has to turn up the things to say that if you are a man I want to get into a relationship with you. And that definitely happens once you've hit your 40s. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. And that's a change she's starting to realize. The rest of the thing, I don't know what to say. I really don't know what to say. I think that she's in this Hollywood/Atlanta bubble. Now, I would say Hollywood bubble, that she thinks that she is above reproach and beyond the rank and file. No, you are part of the rank and file now. You are. I'll say that. You're 40s now. Yeah. There are men who are way below your pay grade who would not deal with that attitude. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. No. Why are we putting money into an investment that isn't liable to reap returns? She doesn't understand that men think of things in a sort of stock market way. If we're going to put money into a stock, we want to get a return on our investment. She is not going to give us a return on our investment with these sort of attitudes and with her dating and biological clock as it is. We're not going to get much from it. We're going to get a lot of attitude. We're going to get a lot of love languages. We're going to get a lot of sheer, utter delusion. Quite simply, not a lot of men want to invest in that. Nope. Nope. They'd rather be happy in their own and a little hovel than to have to come to this place and have to jump through hoops in order to put a smile on their face. Hell no. Hell no. See, she has to humble herself. I'll say that straight out. She has to humble herself. Ladies have to realize that they have an age and they have a sell-by date, and quite simply, she's reached hers. She's reached it. And there are only certain amount of men that she can dazzle the way she used to.
A situation where I'm open. I used to like to stay in the house all the time. And I was like, Crystal, you're never going to find a man if you don't leave the house. But y'all, even just getting ready, putting the makeup on, doing your hair, finding an outfit, just going to shop for an outfit because you feel like I don't have nothing to wear. And then you get out there and nobody approaches you. What am I doing? I find myself coming home. I've done spent $200 on a meal and drinks and still ain't got no action. What's going on? I'm still trying to figure it out.
Oh my God! Yes. Reality has finally hit her hard. Now she has to pay for dates. When she was in her 20s, I barely think that she would have had to. Now she has to pay for dates. Now she has to get dressed up and not get any action. Now remember, that is there's a reason why she still holds sway in terms of sexual access. So there's a reason why she's not giving any access, because she doesn't deem the man good enough to get the access, to get the goods, to get the scratch and sniff. No, I'm playing. But she has now realized what men have realized all along. She now has to jump through a certain amount of hoops to get what she wants, and she finds it very tiring. Imagine what a man has to do this since the day of majority. They've had to do that. So we're built for it. It's like a long distance run. If you have been doing it for years, it comes easy. But if you haven't, and you're not used to all the miles that are required to run, well, you get an attitude like this, where it's like, I've exhausted all this energy. I don't know if I can go to that next mountain. I don't know if I can get to that next bend. I don't know if I can get that next mile. Because it hurts so much. But men have come to realize that. That's why we're long distance runners. We have been through those miles. So that's when she says, what's going on? She doesn't realize that it's a lot of work. It takes to make yourself sexually attractive, to make yourself strong enough, to make yourself charming enough, to make yourself good looking enough, to make yourself, most importantly, financially accessible enough to get to that level. Now she has to put an effort in. Chanel asks, why does age need to be an issue? Aren't you? Yeah. No. I'm late 40s. But here's the deal. I'll take it from personal experience, I'll open my own book. What I'm looking for right now is, most importantly, yes, okay, I'm looking for legacy. I'm one of those typical 40-ish males who are looking for legacy. You're not gonna get legacy from a 40 to 50-year-old. You're not gonna get legacy. That's not coming. That's not happening. Not the legacy to which I am accustomed. You're not going to step up to a Crystal and ask her, can you provide legacy? No. By legacy, I mean children. By legacy, I mean family. You're not equipped to do that anymore. So therefore, age is important. Those who are equipped to do that are those relatively from, again, the late teens to about early to mid 30s at the most. Should I have done that 10 years ago? Maybe. But the fact of the matter is, I could do that now. Funny enough. Because you know why? Because I've seen the long game there, Chanel. I've realized that if I keep myself to a certain fitness level, if I keep myself to a certain financial strata, I can indeed procure ladies 20, 30, 40 years younger than my age. Let's go back to this one divorced at 53 video here, and let's play it again.
I'm divorced, 2 beautiful children in college. Being single is an interesting time because it's difficult to meet the right people in the
Now, Chanel, this is a person around your age, but let's continue.
right places, so it is a challenge.
So at this point, are you still going for like guys in your age category, younger guys, or what?
Based on my experience, if I could do like someone between my age, 50 to 60, would be the optimal range.
What do you think men in your age category are going for? Women in your age, or do they want younger girls?
That's probably part of the challenge because somebody that's 50 can date 30, 25 to 40. So I have a lot of competition, but I love myself and I know I'll find the right person.
Okay, so you're looking for something long term again.
Did you hear that? A man who's in his 40s and 50s can get someone half his age, as has been shown in from time immemorial, and still do damage. Serious damage. The lady has spoken. One from experience. One who was married 27 years. She realizes her ALIKes aren't checking for her unless they've already had kids to boot. And she hasn't kept herself relatively fit enough. I have. So therefore, I can go for a lady in her early to mid 30s and still do bang up business as long as I keep my financial steady and my fitness up to par, which I know it is. And Lord knows I've done it. This summer was testament to that. Testament to it. I can guarantee you that. But let's continue back with the video. Dating in the 40s here. What is going on? Well, you're realizing that life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. Continue, Crystal.
Out. And people are like, men don't approach me. I'm like, no, nobody approaches me. I'm like, I don't know if I look like I'm mean, or some people say I'm unapproachable. Other people say, oh, you look like you already got a man. I'm like, I don't know if I need to just put a sign on back. I'm single, ready to mingle, and maybe somebody will holler. But like, I try to like be more conscious of like smiling at people, starting conversation or saying hello, just so the guy can know like, okay, she's interested, or that was an invitation to have a further conversation. But y'all don't get it. Like,
she gets it now. She realizes that at this stage in her life, she has to do the work. She has to do some legwork. This is what dating in your 40s, ladies, is all about. Now, you can date, but at the end of the day, when she says that, hey, you know, she doesn't date, men don't approach her, because her reputation precedes her. People know her age at this stage. She's a known actress. So they know she's in her 40s. They know she's in her early 30s. So men aren't exactly at her front door, banging her front door the way they did 10 years ago. That's what a lot of ladies in their 40s don't realize. The din of men regularly lining up to meet and date you, top men, are Well, they're relatively done. So you have to make adjustments. So can women date over 40? Yes, they can. But we'll get into what certain circumstances they need to in order to date at 40 and above a bit later. But she's starting to realize that she has to do the work. She has to extend herself. She has to, she has to do the chat up. She has to literally chat men up to get action. She has to do the work. And as any long distance runner who hasn't run a race in years or who doesn't have the physical stamina to do it, it's hard. It's hard. It only gets harder as she ages further outside of her sexual peak.
I don't understand. Help me. I need somebody to respond to this and tell me what I need to do, because your girl needs help. And one of the biggest things for me is being intentional. And I let people know straight out the gate. Listen, if you're not intentional, I'm in a very intentional space in my life right now. I know what I want. I know what I'm ready for. I know what I bring to the table. So when you come into this table, I need you to understand, ain't no half-assing, ain't no like, oh, I'll call her when I want to call her. I'm going to carry her any kind of way. Certain times, like in my 30s, I feel like I had a little more grace, or I feel like I put up with more because I wasn't as secure in who I am. But now I'm not putting up with that. I need you to come in knowing what you want and saying, hey, I see you and I know you're a good woman. I know I need to take this serious. Even if it's just as a friendship, I need to come in here knowing that I need to get to know you. I'm not playing with you, and where it goes is where it goes. I may have even put up with like cheating. You know what I'm saying? I dealt with that, and I would forgive and be like, it's okay, because I struggled with, and I still kind of struggle with this. I'm still trying to figure this part out. How we put marital expectations on dating. So we're not married, but I want you to be monogamous, exclusive. I want you to treat me like your wife. And I want all the rewards of a husband, and we're not married. So I had a friend of mine, she was like, I just believe that you're single until
again, she thinks she gets to run the dating market still. She really thinks that. She thinks that a man is going to commit to her the way they did when she was in her 30s. They think that she still runs the joint. She doesn't run the joint. You can't dictate terms to a man and at any social strata anymore. You can't. You relatively could at your sexual peak, but you really can't now. And that's one thing I want women at their 40s to understand. You don't run things anymore. You can't tell a man, oh, I need you to do this. I need you to be on point. I need you to... No. Because the two pillars are gone now. Your youth and fertility are gone now. The things that would hold a man to you are gone. You are not willing to some concessions. Part of those concessions include, if a man is worth his salt, looking the other way if he is with other women. I'll say it. Listen, I'll put it bluntly out there. If a man is going to, if you are going to procure a man the way she wants, the man that she wants, she's going to have to look the other way in terms of what he does with other women. She has to extend that sort of grace to him. Now, I know it's hard. I know it's rough. But that's what needs to be done. She needs to understand that, I'm worth it, I'm this and I'm that. No. She has to understand that she may have to look the other way in terms of what a man does with other women, then come back to her. I'll be right back in a minute, and I'll read your comment in just a second. So come back, and we'll resume again. Stupid shit. Back again with Talk to Talk Live in hour number 3. Yeah, this is hour number 3. We've already been through 2 hours. So hour number 3 of Talk to Talk Live. Thank you very much for joining me. And like, subscribe, comment, we're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. And when we get to those 1,000 subscribers, we can get out of this whole space on Instagram where I have to, resume every couple of hours. So yes, let's continue the conversation. So yes, I was speaking on women in terms of cheating. If you want a high-value man, a man of stature, a man of physical ability, a man of good financial standing, you're going to have to turn your head when it comes to cheating. I'll say it right now. You'll have to do it. You will have to do it. Especially a man who has options. The man she wants has options. Most women are going for the 10 to 20% of men that are out there. He has options. And for her to come to us saying that you need to be on point, and you need to do this and this, that, no. You're not dictating terms anymore. That's one thing she's not getting through her lovely head. She is not getting to the point where she understands that the dating market is on her side anymore. It's not. It's on the man's side. Men her age well, again, if she wants to lay well, Chanel, she wants to lay next to you, hey, that's an incentive. But many men who are of a certain financial ilk may not take kindly to it, but again, present company excluded. But anyways, the fact of the matter is that may be a hint. But don't quote me on that. But again, she can't run things the way she did, and that clearly by that last statement she was. If you're here on Talk Live, let me see if there's any comments on Talk Live on the other end. Let me see if on StreamYard we have anything. No, we're good. We are good to go. So yes, so we are good to go here. So this lady is still thinking she's running things. She's not. She really isn't.
You're married. Until you're married, it's not under God, but we know at some point it has to be like, okay, this is the decision, this is what I'm doing. And I would put up with a lot of things because I was like, well, he's got to get it out of the system, and I would make excuses for him. And then I would also try to justify, well, yeah, we're not married, so technically you can do what you want to do until we get married. But at what point does the man say, you know what, I'm ready to go ahead and start practicing being a husband, because I know you're going to want me to cook, you're going to want me to clean, keep the house right, keep my body right, you're going to want me to put it down right, you're going to want me to carry myself in a certain way, and all that encompasses a wife. And I feel like that was something that I dealt with that I probably wouldn't deal with in my 40s. Something else I dealt with in my 40s.
Oh, God. Oh, my God. She doesn't get it. She literally doesn't get it. She doesn't realize that in her 40s. The older she gets, the more concessions she'll have to make. If not, stay alone. Just stay out of it. Especially if you want a high-earning man that I know most women want. If you want someone loyal, someone faithful, get an average guy. She does not want an average guy. She doesn't. She does not want an average guy. Let me state that for the cheap seats. That's the reason why she hasn't dated in 6 years, because she's waiting for a man to ride in on a virgin steed and give her what she is asking for. That's not happening anymore. So therefore, if you don't have as many chips as a man wants, or you have too many demands on him, and she has a list of demands, she's already made that perfectly clear, what I would advise for Crystal to do is stay out of the dating market. Just stay out. Stay out. Stay out. Because the man you want and what you are willing to give to that man, yes, you're willing to cook, clean, but at the end of the day, you want him to do what for what? Because the real exchange here is when she's saying, I want you to give me trophy wife treatment, even though she is not willing to give you a legacy. That's not going to compute. Unless a man has already had his legacy, that's not going to compute. And for you to dictate terms to him as such, stay outside. Just stay outside. Date casually, get a little loving every now and again, but stay outside. Because it's blood sport out here. And she doesn't have the weapons to dictate terms. She doesn't. She does not. She does not. She doesn't. As pretty as she might be to someone, she doesn't have it. And for her to only double down on what she requires from a man, well, I hope she finds it. I never, stop anyone from, getting what they want from love. But at the end of the day, he has to be some sort of, some sort of real life simp to get anything out of a relationship like that. And that's why she's been alone for a while. I'll tell you straight up. She's been alone for a while for that reason alone. She has. She's been alone for that reason for a while. Because her wants does not match what she's willing to give to a man. They don't. They don't match. They do not match. Cooking, cleaning, that sort of thing. To be a homemaker, to put it down when necessary, great. But you're not willing to give a man what a high value man, a man of means. Again, Chanel puts it clear. She had that mentality at 40, but where did that mentality get you? Seriously, have a think to yourself, Chanel. Where did that mentality get you at 40? Did it get you somewhere? Did it get you where you wanted to be? I don't think so. I don't know. You tell me. I don't think it did. That's the thing about dating when you're 40. You really think that you are still you have that 30s, 20 odd mindset. You say, well, my money's grown and this and that. But men don't care about money. Men care about men that she wants, that she respects, that she wants to be with, want women on their terms. Want women on their time frame. Want women on their modus operandi. They want women to come in and help them build a legacy. The women that she wants. And at the end of the day, she'll never get those women, especially when the first thing these men want, most of the men that she wants, she can't give. She can't give. The biggest bargaining tool she has is gone. And if that's the case, men are very strategic, and they'll say, okay, well, we'll see where this goes. Sex, see where it goes. Sex, and soon enough, Peter. Chanel, you have 4 beautiful children, 4 grandchildren. That's why, for you, there's only a certain man that could cater to you, because you have literally flew the white flag in terms of fertility. You're done. You're out of here. So there are only certain men that would seriously consider you. And usually they're older, have their own children, and have no problem dealing with a relationship with you. However, minds do change. And if a man say, oh, well, I need a certain, he could. So that's why for a woman like Crystal, and I'm sure what you have done is that you need to get there and find out what a man needs and fulfill those needs. Fulfill those wants, whereby you become indispensable to that man. That is when you run the dating market. When you know the little small things. How shall I say this? It's the little things that mean a lot. There you go. When you have that down to a science, and you are indispensable to that man, guess what? Men want to keep you around. But it's only a certain amount of men who could do that for you, Chanel. That is a man who's literally out of the children game. I'm not necessarily out myself. So, there it is. But let's continue with the story.
I mean, in my 30s, something I felt dealt with in my 30s was inconsistency. I would allow a man to just kind of come in and come out. I had a lot of relationships where it was off and on. And whenever he called back, we were back on. We'd fade out, and then I would do what I was doing. He would do what he was doing. And then he'd call and say he missed me, and it was like, okay, we back, I had a guy that I did that with for like 6 years. He was like off and on. And to this day, it's funny. They're like, that's your husband. I'm like, no. They was like, well, he still ain't with nobody. And I'm like, yeah, because he got issues. He has commitment issues. And I was like, that's not my husband. Something else that I dealt with in my 30s that I would not do now is the lying. Like, let's just say this. I put up with a lot of shit that I would not put up with now. And that's because I don't have the tolerance. I have 0 tolerance for lying, cheating, for inconsistency, for someone who, a deal breaker for me is someone who's not like a man of God, who doesn't want to go to church. Like, I need somebody that I can do everything with. I don't want to just, we go on vacations together, we go to dinner together, we go to ball games together, we do all the things together, but on Sundays, I'm the only one going to church. That ain't gonna work for me. I need somebody that's like, baby, we gonna pray together too, because we got to keep this thing tight. And that's, for me, is like one of the biggest things. I always say, when people are like, what are you looking for in a man? And I always say, I want a man that has to seek God to get to me. When they see me, they're like, ooh, I can't go about the same way I done went with all these other women. I got to go with this woman different. Lord, help me secure this, because I know if I do it, I'm gonna mess it up. I need you to seek him first before you step over here, okay? Secondly, how he treats his mother. I want him to my mother always say, watch how a man treats his mom, because that's how he's gonna treat you, and it's so true. I look at how he is around his friends, the company that he keeps. How he is when I bring my friends around, because a lot of times you can kind of tell when you bring them in different environments. You're like, okay, I see how you carry yourself. I want somebody that I can take in any room, whether we with the president of the Atlanta Hawks suite or we are at a children's center helping some kids. Like, I want to know that I can put you in any room and you're going to adapt, and I can go to the bathroom. You're not going to embarrass me, okay? Because some folks you cannot leave unattended. Another thing that
Did you get that? Did you get that? Did you get that? What she just said right there. And then, well, we're reaching the end to where we want to go. Again, she wants a man of God. She wants a consistent man. Whatever. Okay, great. That's well and truly warranted. That's fine. You can do that. But again, what she said there last, that is key, in that she wants a man that she can carry at all places. So guess what she's what? Guess what she wants, sorry. She wants a man who is of a certain amount of value. A man who can hold his own in any room. Which is fair. But there are many ordinary men who want that, but she doesn't want that. She doesn't want that. She doesn't want that. She doesn't want that. Doesn't want that. So she wants a man of means, both financially and physically, and a man of God, and consistent, and all this other stuff. But certain men, as such, want certain women. Now, if you're willing to deal with a man who already has kids, who's gone through life, and is willing to, start again with you because you're not having any children, hey, that's all well and good. But that's pretty much your market. That's your market. That's your market. I had a comment here from Chanel. I'm not having no more children. Any man in my life needs to love my grandkids. Here you go. That's her. That's basically it. A man in his 40s who doesn't want kids, already had kids, doesn't want kids, and who's of high value, that's who she's taking. That's who she wants to deal with. And that's most women. But most other women want that too. Women who are younger, women who are more fertile, women who can build a legacy with, women who won't dictate terms to a man, who you're willing to get on his page. You're not willing to get on his page, Crystal. You're not willing to do it. You're not willing to do it. As much fame and as much notoriety as you have, you're not willing to get on a man's page. And if you're not willing to do that, you're gonna have a hard time finding the man you want. Simple as that. Even including you, ladies. You ladies out there on YouTube. You ladies out there on Instagram. You're gonna find it a very hard, difficult time finding a man. Very difficult. Very, very difficult. A few more minutes, then we're going to wrap up.
I look for in a man is honesty and integrity. Integrity is so important, because if you don't have that, it's just everything else starts to crumble. The way he handles himself, takes care of his body, that's important. And I've noticed that, like, the older I get,
What I say? She wants a high-value man who is fitter than fit. One who takes care of his body. Okay. You better pray that man don't want children, or else you're out. I'll say it to you straight out. You better pray that man don't want kids, or already had his kids and done, or else you're out. Sorry, ladies. It's true.
it's less about the physical. Don't get me wrong, like we got eyes. That's the first thing you do is you see. You see the person, like, dang, okay, what's up, daddy? And then it's like, okay, but what else you got? You know what I'm saying, after that. But I still want to be like, okay, I see you. But I've noticed that the older I get, the less important the physical is.
Ah.
It's more about your spirit and your soul. And I've found like I've given guys who may not be worldly, like the quote unquote like world definition of fine, and then I get to know and I'm like, wow, you really are fine. You may not be like what the world deems beautiful, but like your spirit is so beautiful. I dated this one guy, and he was Muslim, and my parents were so mad. They were like, that's unequally yoked. Like you shouldn't date somebody who's not Christian. And I was like, and this is really kind of what changed my view on religion, but we'll talk about that in a second. And I was like, but nobody's ever loved me the way he has. This guy was the kindest person. He loved the way I love. I love really hard. He loved hard. There was nothing that I didn't have to ask for anything. If he saw that I needed it, it was done. I was like, he was so attentive. We're still good friends to this day. And he came to my college graduation. He got to meet my family. After this man met my family, they were like, oh my God, we love him, because they saw what I saw. And just a beautiful, beautiful soul. But taking it back to the religion part, because of that and the way my parents reacted to that whole unequally yoked thing, because of the way he made me feel and the way he loved me, it started to make me think that religion was just put in place to give people rules to live by, so that people could be good. And all the religions, there's like one thing in common is love your neighbor. Okay, let's move a little further than this. Be good. It's like a drug. It's like you get addicted to the life, the access, everything that comes with that.
Not to say religion is not a good thing. Not to say religion is not a important part of any relationship. It is indeed very important, but again, I think she got a little long-winded, so that's why I advanced this case. Not to say that religion is not important. I'll say that. Okay.
I saw that like it was a trend. I continued to attract that type of man, somebody that was always like high in stature, and I think it was. And I started to even look at men like, okay, yeah, I just want somebody to take care of me. I had that mentality because I didn't have nothing going on. But when I started having something going on and the table started turning, I was making my own money. I was standing on my own 2 feet. I didn't have to depend on him to pay my bills. I could do it on my own. That's when I started looking for different things in a man. I was looking for somebody to take care of me when I was younger. But as I started to come into my own, I was like, no, like I need something deeper. Like it's not all about the fame. It's not about the riches. Because those men, I'm not putting all men who make a lot of money or men of stature and high status in the same box, but it's a lot that comes with their life. And you deal with infidelity, you deal with ego, you deal with a lot of loneliness because they're always busy. And those are things like, okay, do I want that? Like, is this the life I want? Do I want to be by myself all the time while he's out doing God knows what? Because he feels like he can, because he's the one bringing all the money in. So when I started making my own money, my whole idea of what I wanted in a man started to change. And not saying that my success defines me.
Fair use, ladies and gentlemen, fair use, fair use.
That it didn't boost my confidence and make me like, I don't need you. You know, I can do this on my own. I want you. And there's a difference between needing somebody and wanting somebody. When you want them, it's a choice. I'm making a choice to be with you. When I need you, it's like, nigga, I'm not going to be able to survive if I don't have you. And the need turns into something different. Like I need that spiritual connection. I need you mentally. Like you have my heart and my soul now. It's not all like tangible things. When now for where I am now. But yeah, it's definitely changed. I look more on the inside than the outside. It's not all about what you can do for me at this age. It's about how you can feed me. And that's what it really is. How can you feed me? How can you feed my spirit? How can I learn from you? There's guys that like literally can be top NBA players that like, Crystal, I would marry you tomorrow. And I'm like, bruh, the conversation is horrible. Like, I'm a sapiosexual. You get me here, you gonna get me there. Okay?
That's most women. Yeah, we know that's most women. Women fall in love with what they hear. Men fall in love with what they see. So you're no different than most women. But at the end of the day, what I'm not hearing, and that a lot of women in their 40s need to do, is they need to show men what they can provide them. Hi, Chanel, don't need these kids anymore, and I don't need the young girl problems. Okay, well, you don't need the young girl problems. You don't need kids anymore because you've already had your kids. So, Michael, I truly appreciate that, and I totally agree with that. That's a perfect match. Those are what women in their 40s want. They want a guy who doesn't want young girl problems and doesn't need any more kids. Perfect. Perfect. The only thing is they're in the minority. Sorry, they're in the minority of men. Yeah. So going back to Crystal here. Yeah, we understand that, Crystal. We understand that what goes on, what goes on between the ears. You have to be stimulated there before you get down there. We understand that. Men are very visual. Women are very cerebral. As long as you tell them what they want to hear, then you're pretty much halfway there. So what Crystal fails to see is the fact that how is she, and especially in your 40s, ladies, this is one thing I gotta say, you gotta show men how you can make their lives better. I don't hear that from Crystal. How can she make a man's life better? It's all about me at the end of the day, and what a man can provide me and what I need. But at the end of the day, when you're 40, you need to show a man what you can provide him. How you can change his life for the better. How you can make his life easier. And if you're not showing that, it's like what a woman hears. Unless you show us that you can that you can be indispensable in our lives, then all this chat goes for naught. Especially for men to whom you want. Now again, you get, there are men out there who will cater to you in your every whim. Fair enough, but will you respect them? No, you won't. Because you want a man with backbone. You want a man with standards. You want a man who, has standing and status within the community. And can hold frame, as they say in the Red Book. And if you're not willing to cater to his needs, then you don't have a meeting of the minds. He's willing to cater to your needs, I get that, but you need to cater to his. Especially now. Especially now.
you gotta get the mind first. I'm like, every time I'm on the phone with you, I'm like, and I know you'll buy me every Chanel collection, everything in Gucci. You'll take.
No, you won't. No, you won't. Ugh, the delusion on this lady. No, you won't. They won't. They won't. You're lucky to get a body beside you. You won't get men catering to you hand over fist. It ain't happening. What you want and require right now is a good man who will be with you into your dying days. Yes, he may flash a bit of baubles on you, sure, but don't expect the world. Don't expect the world at 40, ladies. Do not expect the world. You expect the world, you'll get nothing in return. It's how you add on to each other's lives to make it better. Do not expect the world. That's the most important thing to be taken away from this. Do not expect the world. Because therein lies trouble. Therein lies discord, and therein lies a lack of a relationship. A shell of a relationship. Quite simply, you guys don't deserve to be together with any sort of man. You can't have these attitudes and say, and expect the world and expect men to cater to you anymore. No, you need to cater to him. At this stage, in this time of life, you need to cater to him. How are you making his life better, ladies? That's the question you need to ask now. You could have asked that in your 20s, early 30s, yeah. You could add that, yeah. If reasonable. But even then, the best women who are usually swept off the market are those who can cater to their men. She doesn't have that sort of experience yet. She's been catered to all her life. So therefore, you're going to get these little blurbs saying, I still need to be catered to until my dying days. And quite simply, you could have sold that in your mid-20s. You could have sold that even into 29, 30 years old. But you can't sell that. You can't sell that now and expect a return on that.
Take me on every trip I want to go on, but when we there, what we talking about? Like, it's something about that. Like, I have to be stimulated mentally. So those are the things I look for now as a 40-year-old, and that's what the difference is for sure. A man that's hollering at 40-year-old Crystal needs to come with some confidence, some swag. He got to come knowing, like, I need to see that you know that you can handle me. Because if I don't feel like you can handle me, I'm like, okay, I'm about to run all over you.
Again. Oh my God. We don't want, men shouldn't have to handle you. That's the modern woman blueprint, and that's for all ages. Men shouldn't have to handle you. You should be able to handle yourself. Handle yourself. Because if you need to be handled, men shouldn't be there. If you can't behave yourself, that is modern woman 101. She should not have to be handled. Black women say that all the time. White women too. They shouldn't have to be handled. Point blank, period. That is terrible. That is a modern woman 101 idiom that makes no sense whatsoever. None. It should be wiped off the face of modern nomenclature. Put simply.
Like, I need to know that when you come to me, you come with intention. It's like, listen, like, this is where in my life, I want to get to know you. I want to take you serious. Come to me single. Don't be having a whole bunch of stuff going on. Okay. Some stragglers. Go ahead and let them fall by the wayside before you come over here. Because I need you to be open to receive all that, your blessings that God has for you. Because I'm a blessing. Okay? I need you to know.
It's okay. Maybe you are a blessing, but you're not bringing blessings. You're not. You're not. You're bringing yourself. That's it. And that self is quite selfish. I'll put it bluntly. I'll put it out there. That self is quite selfish. She may look. She may laugh and giggle and smile, but we know what. Men see this a mile away. That's why she's alone. That is indeed why she's okay. Let's put it to a theory. Let's put it to the test. Now, this was done, what, a month ago? 2 months ago. So 2023. Crystal Renee Hayes. Crystal Renee Hazlett. Let's see if she's in a relationship now, huh? I doubt it, but we'll see. Yeah, I don't see it. Yeah, I don't see it happening, really. No. Yeah. Yeah, I don't see her in a relationship right now. I really don't. No. Nope. No. Nope. 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 She is not. So for her to dictate terms as such, she's 40, without child. She might as well be like my reporter who came back from Dubai and the name escapes me now, and is living with her parents now and having children. Now realizing that her ship has sailed. She doesn't realize that she doesn't dictate terms anymore. That's fine, but, you know, keep on living. She'll understand.
No, I'm a blessing. I had one guy tell me, he was like, you know, Crystal, he's like, I just wonder sometimes, am I missing my blessing? Because he's in a very evolutionary phase of his life where talking about he is doing amazing things. And he's like, and I wonder because of where I am, and I'm in a phase where I have to be selfish. And there are phases in life where you have to focus on yourself. He's like, am I missing my blessing? And I looked up at him and I said, you are. But that's okay. You got to do what you feel is right for you. And if the timing is right and we're supposed to be together, we'll be together when the time is right. And if not, you're a great friend. And I'm here for you. I support you. But you're not about to play with me. We can be cool. We got to keep it just like this. Keep it friendly. Don't play with me when you know that's not what you're ready for. So he's got to be intentional. He's got to be open for something serious, because I'm telling you, like, when you come over here, you're going to love it. You're going to love it here, and you're not going to leave. So, yeah, he got to come confident. He got to come intentional and ready. So I talked about it. I said that
Okay, so we're going to leave it right there. She talks about matchmakers. She goes into things any further. But pretty much, we've got the gist of what she wants. We do. We got the gist of what she wants right now. And simply put, there are some good things, but a lot of bad things to be brought out from this. Let me go back to the main screen. And let me show... let me get back to the main screen here. Full cam. Thank you for Crystal Renee Hazlett and her video. Very, very enlightening. Very, very illuminating with regards to where she stands. Quite simply, Crystal Renee Hazlett's story is no different from many modern women's stories. She chose not to follow through on her sexual peak to find a man. She's in her 40s now, and the men aren't calling the way they used to. She still has very, very lofty expectations of her men. She still wants the kitchen sink, the bathtub, all the fixtures, all the fixins of when she was in her 20s, now in her 40s, knowing full well that she doesn't dictate terms in the sexual marketplace anymore. She did, but now she doesn't. So, my advice to ladies in their 40s and above, dating. Number one, you have to sell yourself. You have to literally put yourself out there, promote yourself, and show men that you can be an indispensable part of your life. Crystal's not doing that. She's not doing that. She lived in a life in which she was the center of attention, and men had to cater to her, and those habits that she picked up in that time of her life continue on to this day. She's in her 40s now. She's not having children. So therefore, she did not learn the fact that you need to be an asset to a man. You need to show. You are now the employee, not the employer in a relationship. No, she's not. She's not. She's literally not. Not with the terms that she is dictated. She literally say. She said to us all that you're gonna love it here. Men love having, for the most part, a family around. A legacy to which they will continue their name. And if you don't have that, then there are demerits put upon you as a woman. If you are barren, if you are a leftover lady, as the Chinese would say, and that's what she is, you cannot come out and dictate terms to a man that you want who is of high value. Let that be perfectly clear. The reason why she wanted a man that catered to her needs and wants, she could have got an ordinary guy, but she doesn't want that. Same thing with the lady who wanted, what was her name? The lady with the, she want the bus driver and not the bus. Hold on just a second. Same with this lady right here. I just want to get back to it here. Hold on. Yes. Here we go. Wants to date the bus owner. Who is that again? She wanted to date the bus owner, not the bus. Yes, that's the one. Would you date a bus driver? No, she wants to date the bus. She'll only date the one who owns the bus and not the bus driver. You see, that's her now. That's Crystal.
I'm looking forward to straightening my crown, Dr. Ayana. Let me ask you this. Let's get to the logistics, though. Let's get to the logistics.
Yeah, we've already done this.
How women need to, position ourselves so that we can be in our divinity, so we can have our crowns right, how we can create and not build.
When she says position ourselves, it's like she's
I don't want to get into this any further. Thank you very much for thinking those lessons.
A game. And by the way, these businesses are ran by sole proprietors.
We also are the fastest. I'm looking forward to straightening my crown, Dr. Ayana.
I'm sure she's still alone. But anyways, that's beside the point. We know who she is. I don't even have to say it. I don't have to say it. I don't even have to say it. We know who she is. I need to find that name. Okay, you know what? I'll leave it there. We know who she is at the end of the day. She wants to straighten her crown. She wants only a high-value man, but she still can't get a man to this day. Black or white. Because she does swirl. Let's say that. But anyways, nonetheless, men don't want her. And there's a reason for that, because she's selfish. She doesn't want to be a part of a man's plan and agenda. The bus owner wants you to be a part of the agenda, but she's not willing to do that. And so here we are. And that's where Crystal is. And that's where a lot of women at 40 are at this point in time of their lives. They aren't willing to be a part of a man's life. Now, if you are, and you realize where a man is, you're willing to meet him there and make him that much better, yes, you'll be successful in the dating market. Absolutely. But realize this. You have to cater to your man, knowing that your two pillars of youth and fertility are gone now. They are gone. Consider them gone. Unless you have $10,000 waiting around for IVF, unless you have $50,000 waiting around because of a surrogate, in order to pay for a surrogate. Yeah. If you don't have those funds, you don't have those means, guess what? The dating market is not for you. Because you don't have that trump card at your disposal anymore. So you have to work at the small skills. How can you make yourself indispensable to the man you want, which most women want, ladies? Most women want. Men who can provide youth and fertility. That's why these men who are in their 40s only want women who are younger, because they can provide that for them. And they're the eventual winners. So for you, a Crystal, who I'm sure is a very charming, very lovely lady herself, for you to dictate terms at this age, no, it's not going to happen. There are a lot more years of loneliness coming your way, unfortunately. And I don't wish that upon you. I don't wish that upon any woman. But women, you have to realize that men see all of this. Men realize you didn't cash in your chips when you could. That moment is past, and you don't run the dating market anymore. So what I would suggest is, unless you're willing to cater to that man and be a man's asset, and you have a fair exchange of views and ideas and love and friendship and religion and everything that makes your lives better together, then I would insist you stay out of the dating market. Because you have to do a lot more giving, ladies. You have to do a lot more giving. You have to give to your man. You have to cater to your man. You cannot be selfish now, ladies. You cannot be selfish. There are needs, there are wants. I get it, but you cannot be selfish. Crystal's being selfish right now. She's being selfish. All over that interview, last interview. You're being selfish. You can't be selfish now, ladies. You can't be selfish now. You have to be a giver. You have to see what men have had to do pretty much all of our dating lives. We have to be givers. And if you can't do that, stay out of the market. Because even though you fall in love with what you hear, we fall in love with what we see. And if we see, going back to it, go back to my browser quickly. If we see, yeah, we're good. We're good with you, doll. No wonder you're single. We see a woman such as this, at 44 years old, trying to get back into...
How old are you?
I'm 47.
Are you going for old?
If we see something like that, there's a chance, but but at the end of the day, we know you're 47. That'll eventually come out. And quite simply, you're not one to dictate terms anymore. And she understands that. And I hope she does understand that. And if you're coming out like this, at 44 with gray hair and with experience, we can't help you unless you help yourself. And when I say help yourself, I mean you need to be a giver, not a taker. You can't be selfish anymore. You can't do it. You can't do it. You can't do it. Those days are over at 40. You need to give. You need to be an asset to a man. You need to cater to his sexual needs. Despite what is said by Chanel, and I appreciate the comment, men care about sex a lot at 40. Don't ever think that just because you're 40, we don't care about sex anymore. Oh, we do. Big time. Why do you think we were going after younger women in the first place? Why do you think the porn industry is what it is? Oh, they care about sex big time. So if you're fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative, submissive, Even in your 40s, you can win. You can win. But it's up to you. It's clearly up to you. Because men aren't doing the okie doke anymore. They aren't. They aren't. And they can smell a lady who's in it for herself a mile away. Unless you're simpish and you don't. Those simps are what you want, but you don't respect them anyway, so. But understand that, ladies. If you're a giver, if you're a lover, and you're willing to make yourself and that man that much better by learning about him and understanding what he needs, you will do wonderful things in the dating market. Wonderful. But if not, what can I say? It's tough out there. It's rough out there. And I don't want to see you. I don't want to see you be a woman like this. I really, really don't. Did she already go? Okay, maybe she's gone. I don't want to see you like a woman like this, who clearly thinks her shit don't stink, and she deserves to be catered to hand over fist. Because, quite simply, those days are gone. They're gone. They go bye-bye. So she may want to date a bus driver all she wants. At the end of the day, the bus driver's moving on to another stop. Thank you very much for joining me on Talk the Talk Live. Great show tonight. Great participation. This is a hot topic. And I understand. But it had to be said. Ladies, humble yourself to be exalted. That's all I could say. Humble yourself to be exalted. Once you do that, you can survive. You can thrive in the dating market. But you got to realize that you don't dictate terms anymore. Once you do, I think you'll be better for it. I really do. But thank you very much for joining me on Talk Talk Live. We are going to be discussing the Young Jeezy Jenny Mai divorce tomorrow. Because Jenny Mai was one of these ladies. She realized she was, in her relatively late 30s and said to herself, hey, I need a man in my life, and even though she saw rappers as good time Charlies, still married one, and still had a kid with him, and then the divorce happened. So we're going to break down that divorce and why why Young Jeezy actually lodged the divorce, and it has to deal with the modern woman. It has to deal with it. It does indeed have to deal with it, but we're going to get into it tomorrow. And if indeed Young Jeezy has a case against Jenny Mai and can ask for a divorce, but there are a few things that have there are a few missteps that we'll discuss tomorrow that could lead Young Jeezy towards more financial fallout, more financial pushback from Jenny Mai that she could actually get through it. But we're going to discuss that tomorrow. Thank you very much for joining me on Talk to Talk Live. We are coming through with topic after topic after topic. We have a few topics to talk about, from hoflation to, again, Jenny Mai and Young Jeezy to, again, Dylan Dennis and Logan Paul. We still haven't discussed that. That is coming. We have a few videos on that, but I want to discuss that closer to the actual fight. Because that is something, in terms of dealing with the whole facts, that needs to be discussed. So we'll discuss that a bit later. But thank you very much for joining me on Talk Talk Live tonight. Really great show. We'll be putting it up on YouTube. I still have to get that out there. I will be making plans this week. Summer's been so busy. I've been to England. I've been back. Been to Europe. Been back. and haven't had time, but work and life have played a part in that. But now that I'm back, now that I'm home, I want to get more material out, and that will be coming out in the near future. But thank you very much for joining me Talk Live tonight. We'll be back tomorrow night with, we're going to pretty much discuss Young Jeezy, Jenny Mai. And if not, another topic will be forthcoming. So thank you very much for joining me. Look out for my shorts that are out there. They'll be shown live on YouTube, TikTok. Yes, we are showing our shorts on TikTok and on Facebook as well. So thank you very much for joining me, and we'll speak to you soon. And if you talk the talk, walk the walk, sponsored by Dun Talk, of course, DUNTALK.com. Fall winter line out now. We got them out. We got them here. And I'm going to be starting wearing them around so y'all know who I am anyway. So yeah. So that we get this name out there because it's a tremendous product and I want to show it off to the world. So I will be doing so in due course. Near 11 o'clock. And again, I thank you very much for joining me. And we will speak to you soon. And tomorrow night, in fact. But good night from Toronto, my Instagram people. And back on YouTube here. Thank you very much for joining me live on Talk Live. This will go up right away, but shorts are coming on YouTube, on Instagram, on... Can we do Facebook? Yeah, why not? We can do Facebook and also on TikTok. Those are coming. Those are forthcoming. So thank you very much for joining me on Talk Live. We will see you very, very soon again. Like, subscribe, comment. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Sponsored by Dun Talk, DUNTALK.com.